Now here it is in comparison to my headlights. I mean, there's my brights. Look how bright that is compared. All right, it's time to start on a new project for the channel, and that's my pickup. You've probably seen it in the background of some of my videos, and I haven't got a chance to do a walk around of it yet. Upcoming video I will, and we'll go over what we're dealing with so far and where I'm going to go out in the future. But for now, I'm going to start with the ditch light mod that I've been wanting to do for a while, and I was lucky enough to have Novsight send me out a set of their flood ditch lights, and I'm going to mount them on the A-pillars of this pickup. So in this video, we're going to unbox these lights, build some brackets for the truck, install them, and give them a good test. You may have noticed that I'm not in my usual filming spot. We're in the middle of a move right now, so I'm at the storage unit. This is the only quiet spot in this new town that I could find to do this awkward videoing. So here's the pickup. I have a bunch of stuff in store for this. We'll go over it in a different video, and I'll show you what all it has so far and where we're going with it in the future. Like I said, we're going to start with these lights. I wanted to do the main video first. You can see all my moving crap. I wanted to do the main video first of the truck, but Novsight sent me out these lights right away, and I really want to get the video done for them and not take any more time. So without pushing any further, let's turn around and unbox this. So these are the Novsight 3-inch off-road pods. I got them in a flood pattern. I have already opened this box once just to take a look. I was getting impatient, and I took one of the wrappers off one of the lights. So box slides off. Nice foam, some installation instructions, and I also pulled this out. It was packaged a little bit nicer. So they have everything laid out just super nice. Let's pull out one of the lights. And one of the things I really like about these Novsight lights is they come with black covers and some amber covers. The covers pop right off. And you get just a really attractive looking light. And different than some of the cheaper lights on the market is you get a nice plug too. Nice waterproof plug. So here's your wiring harness, your switch, and that's just going to plug in like that. Be nice and secure. It's got a waterproof gasket in there. Just really nicely put together, really nicely thought out. So here's one of the amber covers. Everything's just wrapped up really nice for shipping. We'll pop that on and see what it looks like. Really nice fitment of that lens too. Hope you can see well in this video, but it fits on there really nice. So that looks really good too. And then you got your hardware and your bracket. It's going to go on something like that. When it's all said and done, the light should be mounted about like that. So huge shout out, thank you again to Novsight for sending me out a set of these lights to test. Super excited to get them on the truck. It's time to get on with the install. So I got my hood popped. I got my piece of flat stock here. And the general idea is that I'm going to tie it in with these bolts, and it'll poke out the back and kind of come up like this so that I can bolt the light on. And I'll have to trim this plastic once I get that on. So now I'm just going to take some measurements and kind of get a general idea. I'm going to try to do one side first and then I'll be able to match the other side, you know, be able to just copy it. So let's get started on that. So I'm just holding up this tape measure to try to get like a general idea of how long I want to go with this, keeping in mind that it's going to have a few bends in it. So I'm thinking about 16 inches would be good. Well, the camera got overheated there. I don't know where it stopped filming. So in case you guys are behind, I've been trying to fabricate this mount to hook to the hood. And I think I cracked the code. It's not the prettiest thing. It's got some weird angles in it. I'll need to drill a hole there. I still have to notch the plastic, but it will bolt on. And it'll sit about like that. I just realized I made another mistake because it's gonna actually sit inside there. So I've been holding it up against the head of those bolts, and I'm probably gonna lose my clearance when I do that. Shoot. All right, so here's what we're left with. Two imperfect, hand-bent, cobbled together brackets. But, you know, if they do the trick, that's all that matters to me. So it's gonna sit out like that. Let's throw a coat of paint on these and try to find time to throw them on the truck. So while that first coat of paint is drying, let's move on to the wiring harness. It's really hot. I'm running out of time here. So we're still in the process of moving. So this is what you get for a harness. And to start off, on these Ford trucks, there's a little hole right there in the firewall. You can see it back there. And that's where everything will plug through. These wires are going to go to the battery, of course. So I want to leave enough room for those. I'm just gonna, this is gonna be kind of a janky install. So if you're doing this permanently on your vehicle, you probably want to make it a little cleaner. For now, I'm just gonna take this relay and I'm gonna zip tie it somewhere up over here, because this truck is equipped with those upfitter switches. So these wires right here run to switches inside, but I haven't decided where, you know, what I want each switch to be yet. So I'm going to use this wiring for now. So now I need to find which one goes to the switch. So here's the one attached to the switch. I'm just going to take this and run it through that hole. We'll go inside. There it is. I'm gonna run just as much as I need. And like I said, I have these upfitter switches. So I don't want to drill any holes or anything yet. So we'll just fish that switch up through there. And I'm gonna just mount it somewhere right there. Just gonna let it dangle for now, leaving enough room for me to put it where I want it. But I want to be able to, you know, rub some alcohol in there and make it clean before I try sticking that on. And then these other two, well, that's nice, they're equal length. So one of these will run across. That'll be for the passenger light. This one will be for the driver's light. I'm gonna go ahead and hook these wires up. That way I can figure out where I can put this. And I'm gonna do this off camera because, like I said, I'm running short on time. And I wanna do this somewhat clean. So let's go put another coat of paint on those brackets. I'll wire this and show you what I did. I've run out of time for the day. I did get a coat of paint on these, and I got the wiring harness pretty much in. Not super happy with how I did it, but I'll address it later down the road. All right, so in an effort to save time, I went ahead and installed the brackets off camera. Not super happy with it. The way I had to mount them, increase the body line there. I had to notch out the cowl. You know, they don't look perfect. They're close enough that I think anybody looking at it first glance isn't going to notice that they're not identical. And then on this side, I ran into the problem. When this is up, it's going to hit the antenna. I was able to bend it back just a little bit. So now we just need to bolt some lights on there. And all right, so here we have the really good looking Novsight 3-inch pod. And I've already fished in the bolt that comes supplied with it. There's no washer on top. You'll see there's two tabs and it's going to hold the top of that bolt. So you can tighten it from the bottom without having any issue. And then there's some Allen head bolts that hold the bracket to the light. See if I can do this one-handed. And then on the bottom side, you have a regular washer, a lock washer, and a nut. So let me see if I can grab the right size socket. It's looking like a 1/2-inch socket. But I just realized that this wire fits in perfectly in between the bracket and the hood, so I'll just zip tie it to that. Let's turn those on and give it a go. Ooh, that looks good. That looks great. So we got the amber cover on the driver's side, the clear cover on this side. Tonight, so I'm gonna turn these out a little bit. So I want them to shine out into this area, and then I'll add lights on the bed to fill in the rest of the side. So I'm gonna go ahead and tighten those down. And then tonight, when it's dark, we will give them another try with and without the lenses and see how they look. Well, it's finally dark, and I couldn't believe how hard it was to find an actual dark spot in this little town. But here's the lights. Pretty good. There's the passenger side one. That's a lot of ditch light. Let's go ahead and pull off the covers and see what that looks like. Oh wow. So there's a good example of the yellow lens versus the clear. I dig it. Let's jump in the cab and see what it looks like from in there. Now here it is in comparison to my headlights. I mean, there's my brights. Look how bright that is compared. Really, that's really impressive. Headlights on the right, Novsight on the left. That's awesome. All right, well that's it for the install. As far as first impressions go, 5 stars. These not only look great, but they perform great, and they are an awesome addition to the Overland truck. So now I just need to save up and get a row for the front bumper. I definitely recommend these lights. Go check out Novsight. Again, thank you to Novsight for setting me up with a set of these to try. These are the flood pattern, the 3-inch, and they are awesome. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.